Here are 400 plus of the best Albert Einstein quotes. I've spent 20 plus hours on websites and books finding the best ones just for you. One thing I admire from Einstein was his lightheartedness and humility, despite his world-class fame. Hope you'll enjoy his witty sayings as much as I did. Albert Einstein quotes, "Any fool can know the point, understand wisdom." Any fool can know. The point is to understand. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein quotes, "Imagination the highest form, research wisdom." Imagination is the highest form of research. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein quotes, "Salute the man who going through life always helpful, knowing fear, whom aggressiveness, resentment, alien wisdom." I salute the man who is going through life always helpful, knowing no fear, and to whom aggressiveness and resentment are alien. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein quotes, "The only thing that interferes with learning education, wisdom. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education." Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein quotes, "Calm, modest life brings more happiness than pursuit, success combined with constant restlessness, wisdom." A calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success combined with constant restlessness. Advertisement. Albert Einstein quotes, "Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them, wisdom." Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. Albert Einstein quotes, "You want your children intelligent, read them fairy tales, more wisdom." If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Albert Einstein quotes, "I'll have stubbornness, mule thoughts, quite also knows wisdom." All I have is the stubbornness of a mule. No, that's quite all. I also have a nose. Albert Einstein. Note, it's refreshing to see someone as famous as Einstein laughing at himself. For more on this, check out the Humanity and Humility section. Albert Einstein quotes, "Who can longer pause, understand, rapt, good dead, his eyes are closed, wisdom." He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand rapt in awe, is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. Albert Einstein quotes, "The search for truth more precious than its possession, wisdom." The search for truth is more precious than its possession. Advertisement. Albert Einstein quotes, "Always get best with naivety, which 20% deliberate wisdom nature trees pines." I always get by best with my naivety, which is 20% deliberate. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein quotes, "Happy man satisfied with present, well too much future wisdom nature cabin mountain." A happy man is too satisfied with the present to dwell too much on the future. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein quotes, "Nothing truly valuable arises, ambition, mere sense, duty, stems, love, devotion, wisdom, man, bike, street." Nothing truly valuable arises from ambition or from a mere sense of duty. It stems rather from love and devotion toward men and toward objective things. Albert Einstein quotes, "Weak people revenge, strong forgive, intelligent ignore, wisdom, man hangs laptop." Weak people revenge. Strong people forgive. Intelligent people ignore. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein quotes, "Don't listen person who has answers, listen questions wisdom man feels." Don't listen to the person who has the answers. Listen to the person who has the questions. Related. 100 plus most famous quotes of all time. 100 inspirational quotes for women to empower you. 130 inspirational quotes for men. Einstein quotes video. Go to table of contents. 20 inspirational Albert Einstein quotes. The best Albert Einstein quotes. Go to table of contents. Albert Einstein quotes, "Only thing more dangerous ignorance, arrogance, wisdom, man suit." The only thing more dangerous than ignorance is arrogance. Long live impudence. It's my guardian angel in this world. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. The ideals which have lighted me on my way and time after time given me new courage to face life cheerfully, have been truth, goodness, and beauty. If you were out to describe the truth, leave elegance to the tailor. The value of achievement lies in the achieving. 3 rules of work: out of clutter find simplicity. From discord find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. On the mysterious, it is the fundamental emotion which stands at the cradle of true art and true science. He who knows it not and can no longer wonder, no longer feel amazement, is as good as dead, a snuffed-out candle. I am by heritage a Jew, by citizenship a Swiss, and by makeup a human being, and only a human being, without any special attachment to any state or national entity whatsoever. Advertisement. Albert Einstein quotes, "People are good, they fear punishment, hope reward, then sorry lot indeed wisdom kid." If people are good only because they fear punishment, and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. To see with one's own eyes, to feel and judge without succumbing to the suggestive power of the fashion of the day. To be able to express what one has seen and felt in a trim sentence, or even in a cunningly wrought word, is that not glorious? Is it not a proper subject for congratulation? To raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. I do not at all believe in human freedom in the philosophical sense. Everybody acts not only under external compulsion, but also in accordance with inner necessity. Any intelligent fool can make things bigger, more complex, and more violent. It takes a touch of genius, and a lot of courage, to move in the opposite direction. Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth. The only thing I did was this. In long intervals I have expressed an opinion on public issues, whenever they appeared to me so bad and unfortunate that silence would have made me feel guilty of complicity. How strange is the lot of us mortals! Each of us is here for a brief sojourn. For what purpose he knows not, though he sometimes thinks he senses it. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. When I am judging a theory, I ask myself whether, if I were God, I would have arranged the world in such a way. I believe in intuition and inspiration. At times I feel certain I am right while not knowing the reason. Related, The Ultimate Quotable Einstein by Albert Einstein. Part 2. Albert Einstein quotes that are the most famous and popular Albert Einstein quotes. Go to Table of Contents. Albert Einstein quotes only real valuable thing: intuition, wisdom, woman, hair, glasses. The only real valuable thing is intuition. The only source of knowledge is experience. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. Creativity is intelligence having fun. I lived in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in maturity. At any rate, I am convinced that he does not play dice. I want to know God's thoughts. The rest are details. Want more inner peace? Get our ultimate peace of mind checklist. It's 100% free. Download your copy today. The world is not dangerous because of those who do harm, but because of those who look at it without doing anything. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is at all comprehensible. The most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. Make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler. You have to learn the rules of the game. And then you have to play better than anyone else. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. Related, Einstein, His Life and Universe. Short Albert Einstein quotes. Go to Table of Contents. One-liners, short Albert Einstein quotes, sayings, and thoughts for your bio, social status, self-talk, signs, wallpapers, backgrounds. Albert Einstein quotes. You never fail until stop trying. Wisdom. Black man looking. You never fail until you stop trying. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. A little knowledge is dangerous. So is a lot. God is subtle, but he is not malicious. Information is not knowledge. One flower is beautiful, a surfeit of flowers is vulgar. Where there's a will, there's a way. The idle man does not know what it is to enjoy rest. Great spirits have always found violent opposition from mediocrities. The man of science is a poor philosopher. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Albert Einstein quotes. True sign. Intelligence, knowledge, imagination, wisdom, woman, water. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge but imagination. If the facts don't fit the theory, change the facts. I never think of the future, it comes soon enough. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. When the solution is simple, God is answering. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Never memorize something that you can look up. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. As far as I'm concerned, I prefer silent vice to ostentatious virtue. God always takes the simplest way. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. Related, 117 short quotes that will inspire you. Advertisement. Inspirational Albert Einstein quotes. Go to table of contents. Albert Einstein quotes each little toward transforming spirit times Wisdom City. Each of us has to do his little bit toward transforming this spirit of the times. I, an old man, greet you Japanese school children from afar and hope that your generation may someday put mine to shame. The destiny of civilized humanity depends more than ever on the moral forces it is capable of generating. Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than one with all the facts. Measured objectively, what a man can wrest from truth by passionate striving is utterly infinitesimal. But the striving frees us from the bonds of the self and makes us comrades of those who are the best and the greatest. A new type of thinking is essential if mankind is to survive and move toward higher levels. As for the search for truth, I know from my own painful searching, with its many blind alleys, how hard it is to take a reliable step, be it ever so small, towards the understanding of that which is truly important. A theory is the more impressive the greater the simplicity of its premises, the more different kinds of things it relates, and the more extended its area of applicability. Imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. It is, strictly speaking, a real factor in scientific research. Albert Einstein quotes only those who attempt absurd can achieve impossible wisdom climbing. Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible. A person who is religiously enlightened appears to me to be one who has, to the best of his ability, liberated himself from the fetters of his selfish desires and is preoccupied with thoughts, feelings, and aspirations to which he clings because of their superpersonal value. On receiving Lord and Taylor Award, it gives me great pleasure, indeed, to see the stubbornness of an incorrigible nonconformist warmly acclaimed. The really valuable thing in the pageant of human life seems to me not the state but the creative, sentient individual, the personality. It alone creates the noble and the sublime, while the herd as such remains dull in thought and full in feeling. The formulation of a problem is often more essential than its solution, which may be merely a matter of mathematical or experimental skill. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. The man who regards his own life and that of his fellow creatures as meaningless is not merely unfortunate, but almost disqualified for life. The really good music, whether of the East or of the West, cannot be analyzed. If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music. I see my life in terms of music. Funny Albert Einstein quotes. Go to table of contents. Albert Einstein quotes doing just fine considering have triumphantly survived Nazism to wife's wisdom statue. I'm doing just fine, considering that I have triumphantly survived Nazism and 2 wives. You can't blame gravity for falling in love. I have reached an age when, if someone tells me to wear socks, I don't have to. Bureaucracy is the death of all sound work. Women always worry about things that men forget. Men always worry about things women remember. Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? There is a race between mankind and the universe. Mankind is trying to build bigger, better, faster, and more foolproof machines. The universe is trying to build bigger, better, and faster fools. So far the universe is winning. After receiving a distinction from Chicago Decalogue Society. How unfortunate a state must a community find itself if it cannot produce a more suitable candidate upon whom to confer such a distinction? As for the words of warm praise addressed to me, I shall carefully refrain from disputing them. For who still believes that there is such a thing as genuine modesty? I should run the risk of being taken for just an old hypocrite. Science is a wonderful thing if one does not have to earn one's living at it. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? What a strange thing must be a girl's soul. Do you really believe that you could find permanent happiness through others, even if this be the one and only beloved man? I know this sort of animal personally, from my own experiences. I am one of them myself. Not too much should be expected from them, this I know quite exactly. Today we are sullen, tomorrow high-spirited, after tomorrow cold, then again irritated and half sick of life. And so it goes. Albert Einstein quotes worry about difficulties assure you mine are still greater wisdom writing. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. 2 things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. The wireless telegraph is not difficult to understand. The ordinary telegraph is like a very long cat. You pull the tail in New York, and it meows in Los Angeles. The wireless is the same, only without the cat. Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Everyone is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Put your hand on a hot stove for a minute, and it seems like an hour. Sit with a pretty girl for an hour, and it seems like a minute. That's relativity. Too many of us look upon Americans as dollar chasers. This is a cruel libel, even if it is reiterated thoughtlessly by the Americans themselves. If A equals success, then the formula is A equals X plus Y and Z, with X being work, Y play, and Z keeping your mouth shut. Those who thoughtlessly make use of the miracles of science and technology, without understanding more about them than a cow eating plants understands about botany, should be ashamed of themselves. One had to cram all this stuff into one's mind for the examinations, whether one liked it or not. This coercion had such a deterring effect on me that, after I had passed the final examination, I found the consideration of any scientific problems distasteful to me for an entire year. No one here at the Technicum is up to date in modern physics. I have already tapped all of them without success. Would I too become so lazy intellectually if I were ever doing well? The hardest thing to understand in the world is the income tax. Black holes are where God divided by zero. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health, or we suffer in soul, or we get fat. We all know that light travels faster than sound. That's why certain people appear bright until you hear them speak. Wise Albert Einstein quotes. Go to table of contents. Albert Einstein quotes punish contempt authority fate made myself wisdom. To punish me for my contempt for authority, fate made me an authority myself. A perfection of means, and confusion of aims, seems to be our main problem. Mankind invented the atomic bomb, but no mouse would ever construct a mousetrap. Stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Man usually avoids attributing cleverness to somebody else, unless it is an enemy. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. Sometimes one pays most for the things one gets for nothing. At our age, the devil doesn't give you much time off. Science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind. Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. All of one's contemporaries and aging friends are living in a delicate balance, and one feels that one's own consciousness is no longer as brightly lit as it once was. But then, twilight with its more subdued colors has its charms as well. Albert Einstein quotes clever person solves problem wise avoids wisdom bench. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. I soon learned to send out what was able to lead to fundamentals, and to turn aside from everything else, from the multitude of things that clutter up the mind. It would be possible to describe everything scientifically, but it would make no sense. It would be without meaning, as if you described a Beethoven symphony as a variation of wave pressure. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. A new idea comes suddenly in a rather intuitive way, but intuition is nothing but the outcome of earlier intellectual experience. As far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain. As far as they are certain, They do not refer to reality. The foundation of morality should not be made dependent on myth, nor tied to any authority, lest doubt about the myth or about the legitimacy of the authority imperil the foundation of sound judgment and action. The eternal mystery of the universe is its comprehensibility. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Education is what remains after one has forgotten everything he learned in school. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Part 3. Albert Einstein quotes about. Albert Einstein quotes about life, happiness, materialism, simplicity. Go to table of contents. One lives one's life under constant tension, until it is time to go for good. I have remained a simple fellow who asks nothing of the world. Only my youth is gone, the enchanting youth that forever walks on air. I no longer need to take part in the competition of the big brains. Participating has always seemed to me an awful type of slavery, no less evil than the passion for money or power. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best both for the body and the mind. Compassionate people are geniuses in the art of living, more necessary to the dignity, security, and joy of humanity than the discoverers of knowledge.